can we just take some time to be so thankful for people who are blessed with talents and abilities to come up with words and phrases and lyrics put together into songs that minister to us and help us in our time of need? Because I'm very thankful for that. I've recently posted on my Facebook about how I've been going through a lot of different things this whole year. God actually like truly just outpoured a blessing on me back in April, I believe it was. And literally the next day, the devil just came with things and messed me up. And I found myself getting to a place where I didn't recognize who I was in the Lord anymore. And I became so spiritually messed up. We'll just put it that way. I didn't recognize who I was anymore. I mean, I kept going through the motions and I would like back away from things. I just wasn't me. And I knew that. But I was also becoming okay with not being okay. Excuse me, allergy season, lovely. But thankfully, God was so gracious and loving enough to send me these bits of encouragement as I would grudgingly read my scripture and devotion for the day just to get it done. Because, you know, sometimes you go through those moments where you're like, okay, I got to read my scripture because that's what I got to do. And that's kind of where I was at. And I didn't like that either, but I didn't know how to get out of it. And I really didn't care either at that time because I liked how I felt, but then I didn't as well. It was a weird place to be and very hard to understand unless you've been through something like that yourself. But I'm very thankful that the Lord has even recently continued to pour out his love and show me that he cares enough to send me words of encouragement through his word, even through, you know, how sometimes people will post up little funny scriptures, or not funny scriptures, funny phrases that deal with our lives as Christians or whatever the case might be. And he has done that continuously. And it was literally whatever was on my mind at that time that I was worried about, stressed out about, things that I was dealing with, it always referred to that moment. And don't you just love how God does that for us? Because, man, no one else can do that for us. No one else knows what's going up in our mind. No one else knows what worries us. I mean, we can speak it out to people, but to truly know the core and the reason for it, where it really truly came from, what we're thinking all the time, God knows all those things. Nobody else does. So as much as we try to rely on others, which we do need to do that, we first need to go to God. And I'm very thankful for him. And I relearned, I'll say that, Sunday, through the message that we had. And it was, for me, about going back to basics. What does that mean, going back to basics? That means going back to Jesus. Jesus being the answer for everything. Oh, I'm worried about this. Jesus. I'm stressed out about this. Jesus. My kids are getting on my nerves. Jesus. There's more of like a yelling and a crying in those moments for the kids, but yeah, back to basics. Jesus. He's the foundation. He's the core. He's the root of it all. He's what we need. And if you happen to be going through something like I have been, I mean, I'm still literally in this phase where I'm like, you know, building back up to where I need to be. And thankfully, God has like replenished me with anointings and blessings that he has before, that because no fault of God's, but fault of my own, have went away. And he has replenished me with some of those things back. And I'm very thankful for that, because as soon as I felt it come back, I was like, oh, I feel like myself. I feel like I know who I am now again. And that's something that I let go away, and I shouldn't have, because I was literally no good to anybody. And if you don't know, I am a pastor's wife, and besides being an author, a mother, pastor's wife, daughter, all these roles that I hold, I still found myself not being able to fulfill these things like I needed to. And I was just letting it all go by. And I wasn't being who I needed to be in each of those roles. And that was a problem. So if you're finding yourself in that same kind of situation, literally go back to basics. And the basics is Jesus. Have a great day, everybody.